All right, folks, we are live. Well, if you don't know me, I am Mike Asherbrenner, professionally known as the Redneck Connector and proud and humble leader of the Hounds of Business community. And you are tuning in to Mike King Biz Radio on ESPN 106.1 FM. Oh, folks, I have a very special treat and guest today. Listen, if you're tired of chasing cold leads, cold pitches, and sinking money into ads that don't convert, yeah, if you're like me and you're tired of that, well, what if the biggest deals of your life, those seven and six, even six figure or eight figure contracts, could come to you with the right referral systems? Well, you're in luck because that's what we're going to be talking about with the one and only Jesse Dobeck, of CEO of Enterprise Referrals. And he's mastered this, folks. After driving 50 million in documented online sales and helping world-class influencers like Brandon Burkert, see, I mess up the names, y'all know me, and many other high-level folks grow their businesses. Right? Jesse's built this framework for high-level entrepreneurs to scale through trust, authority, and deal flow. And you know how I love that. So let's run the intro, bring Big Dog up, and have a great show, folks. Glad you can join us.
Looks like your business might be in a bit of a pickle. Don't you worry about a thing. You ain't alone in this. You're just a success story waiting to happen. Trust me on that. Every bump in the road is just an opportunity wearing a clever disguise. Welcome to the Hounds of Business community, where we don't just sit around twiddling our thumbs. Nope. We turn those obstacles into mighty fine stepping stones. This here's a place where high-level entrepreneurs and sharp professionals gather to grow their businesses and mindsets, kind of like how a good old gumbo needs the right ingredients to be something special. Ideas thrive here, and collaborations, well, they're as natural as sweet tea on a hot day. Success, it's a journey, and we're fixing to walk that road right beside you. Now, don't forget to follow us on LinkedIn for all the latest tips and insights. We're talking about the kind of wisdom that'll keep you ahead of the game. And while you're at it, head on over to our YouTube channel. We've got ourselves a treasure trove of videos, from expert interviews to webinars, everything you need to stay sharp in this fast-moving world of business. The Hounds of Business community? Well, we ain't just a network, we're a movement. So why not come on and be part of something bigger? Join us today and let's turn your business journey into a real Southern success story. Together, we'll achieve greatness, just like crawfish and singing on a Friday night.
All right. Well, I wouldn't think that Jesse knew about crawfish and singing on a Friday night, but he's been everywhere, so he probably has. Let's bring him up and find out, folks. Welcome to the show, Jesse.
Thanks for having me, Mike. Yeah, crawfish singing on a Friday night sounds good to me.
Yeah, why not? I love it, man. So, how long have we known each other? You think about a year, maybe?
I would say about a year. Yeah, in that realm. Yep.
Man, time flies when you're having fun, man. I love. Just let me tell the folks out there, man. I'm all about the trust first, right? We're in a trust deficit nowadays in the world and in business, right? And I just love the way that you handle yourself, man. You're professional. You really get some really great work. You do a lot of things. You convert. The proof's in the pudding, as we say in the South. But you treat people well. You treated me well, Hounds well, and so it's an honor to have you here, man. I just want to let people know because
yeah, I appreciate that, Mike. Yeah, and I feel the same about you. Ever since we started talking and working with different people and different partners and stuff, it's been a great experience. I mean, you're just awesome and treat me like a person and not just like, hey, we're going to make some money together. It's like, it's about people and creating value. And you've always exceeded my expectations on that. So you're awesome.
Well, I appreciate it. Hey, birds of a feather flock together. And I'm glad we shared that because we want folks to plug in with us. If you're listening on air, if you're in the live stream, hey, no stranger danger. You have some kind of passion, desire, you're building a business, probably to help other people, probably with the stuff you went through in life. And you got to plug in and connect. That's why we do these shows, folks. So if you're out there kind of astray out there, hey, welcome home. So let's dive into it, man. I want people to know you wasn't born with a silver spoon, right? Like almost all the guests and all the Hounds, you had to fight hard for where you're at today, and you continue to fight hard, not because you have to, but because you're ambitious and you want to help more people make bigger impact, right? So you've driven over, correct me if I'm wrong, but over 50 million in online sales and worked with some of the biggest names, man, in the influencer world. But I want to rewind. What was the turning point that led you to focus on referrals and partnerships instead of the usual ads and cold outreach only methods?
Yeah, I think a lot of people get focused on I need to do social media. I need to launch my business online, and I need to start running paid advertising because then I can scale my business. And they go in too soon because it costs a lot of money it costs a lot of time to do social media, and it costs a lot of money to do paid ads. And if you're not careful, you're going to run yourself into the ground and potentially go bankrupt. And I always tell people, and that's how I got my biggest clients and opportunities, so I can get in a position to run ads, so I can get in a position to do social media. Because when I started off, I wasn't doing that because I didn't have the time and energy, but I built my network up big enough. I landed one of the biggest clients, Brendan Burchard, for my business, started doing $100,000, $200,000 a month in passive money. And then after like 8 months of getting like 200 grand a month coming in, then I started building a team that could help me do social media. But I had to pay them about 20,000 a month just to run everything. You know, we're on all channels. We're doing like 10 posts a day on all channels, high level video editing, you know, just running it at the highest level. And I learned that from Gary Vaynerchuk. It's 25 grand if you want to, you know, run social media for one person. And if you're going to do it right. So like, yes, it costs money to do it. So whether you're paying for ads, so at that point, I was paying about 20, 30,000 a month for ads and paying about 20,000 a month for my team to run all the stuff. So yeah, it's expensive. That's 50 grand a month just to do that. Now, building up your network, it takes a process, but if you do it right and you meet people like Mike, but then maybe hundreds of other people, and then he'll introduce you to people and those people introduce you to people, pretty soon you get introduced to a flagship client where you can start bringing in 100,000, 200,000 a month or even more passively. And now you can start investing to build your brand up and start scaling your business. But, you know, you can't start at that point. I mean, you can, but most people, I always say, you know, you're in high school. Yeah, you can build a channel and go viral and become a big YouTuber with 1 million subscribers, but you're in high school. You don't have responsibilities. Probably your parents are paying, you know, your food bill and you get free rent. You don't have like you don't have kids.
Right.
But so you get a lot. So you just, instead of playing sports, maybe you launch a channel and then that takes off. You know, that's another route. But, you know, most people aren't in that position. So you got to build that network, that base.
2 points. So we're going to get to what I can hear people in their minds, right? They're going, oh, Jesse, you don't know though. I don't have this. I don't have that. I'm just starting off, blah, 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 right? We'll get to that in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to emphasize one thing I heard you say directly and even indirectly. Yeah, there's a lot of noise out there in the business sector online, right? That say, don't worry about relationships. You know, they're wasting time honing down those deep relationships. But you have the numbers and the receipts to prove that that's not the case. All the other things were amplified because people knew you, they trusted you, and then they got on board with what you were doing. Correct? I mean,
yeah. So I'll just give a little bit about my background. So I wanted to be an NBA player, but then I blew out my knee, and you know, and that didn't work out. So which like 0.001% of white players out there, not to be racial, but you know, the league is comprised of like 90% black now or something. So it's not easy to break into the league. Plus, if you get a little bit older, it makes it even more difficult. So, you know, my dream was to be the next Jordan. That didn't work out. So I had to be realistic. It was a hard pill to swallow, but I realized that I could be my own CEO. I could be an entrepreneur, especially with the digital age, the internet. I learned how to build websites. That was the first thing that I did. I networked with somebody that I was networking with in college that owned a bunch of businesses in San Diego, because I moved back to San Diego to start my business, living with my dad. I was working at a restaurant, so I'm barely making any money, you know, waiting tables. But I learned on the side. I had a computer at home, so I learned from 13-year-old kids how to build websites on YouTube. Like literally, you can go on YouTube and learn how to do anything, create a skill. Then I started landing clients through networking. A guy that I networked with in college, he started introducing me to local businesses. So I started building websites for local gyms, pizza shops, dentist office, just local different businesses, like a construction company, $500, I'll build you a website on WordPress. So I learned how to design and code and use the tools out there like WordPress, a free tool, to build a website, charge money. And then I realized that once they have a website, they need traffic. So then I can start getting recurring revenue. So now I had a business, okay? And I did that all by myself, living at home with my dad, just Googling stuff, just searching around the internet, figuring it out, networking, landing some clients. And then those people introduced me to more clients, and pretty soon I'm off to the races. So it was definitely, I came from a sports background. I learned how to be competitive and to work really hard for what I want in life. But then I translated that over in the business world and figured something out that was working, and it seemed to pay off. So
It's a mentality, man. I love it. And you fight hard, you work hard, you never get lazy, but you're also collaborative, right? And
yeah.
that's a great blend. Like we said, in the beginning of the show, I love that because a lot of noise out there saying, "Oh, you can't be that way." Well, okay, you're the unicorn, right? And by the way, you said Jordan. I was thinking more like John Stockton, man. You really got that Stockton
Yeah,
in the late
well,
'90s look.
Stockton's like 5'9". I'm 6'5". So like,
Okay, I was gonna say,
so Jordan is my height, like Kobe Jordan, and I was a big guard, so I could shoot, dribble, attack the
Larry Bird.
basket. Like I probably should have been more like, if I could go back and I had this person like a Steph Curry just work on my shot, it would have been better. Instead, I want to attack the hoop because I want to be like highlight dunk tape videos. So like, anyway, so I had the wrong like system approach to the game, I would say, but just playing sports taught me how to be competitive and not give up. So
Yeah, well, on that note, let's break down the problem because a lot of folks they struggle in this wheelhouse, and so you're going to give them that glass of milk, right? So entrepreneurs, because that's the definition of entrepreneurship. I love what you shared, and it really resonates with our audience because you just go out there and started finding problems to solve, then finding the other pieces to solve those, right? And people think I have to have it all figured out before I go and do it. You proved that wrong, right? By saying no. I went out there and discovered things, then figured out things and created
yeah.
things. Man, hats off to you because I want people to know. So on that note, entrepreneurs out there that running 6 to 8 figure businesses, why are traditional channels like we talked about, just straight ads and cold calls and networking events nonstop? Why is that so broken right now?
Well, it's really expensive, and I touched on it already. It's like, if you go out and you run ads, I always say that's for 0.1% of the people. The 0.1 percenters are already successful. They already have a proven offer. They already have a proven system, a team. They already have the infrastructure built. Then you just pour gasoline on the fire. But you got to build the fire up. So you got to test your offering. You got to make sure that it's working. The 1 percenters can do social media well. So 0.1% is doing ads well. 1% is doing social media well. That's like 1.1%, right? Like, so what's the 99? What's the 98.999%?
Right.
That's networking. That's referrals. Where do you get your business from? I got a referral. Like, how many times do you hear that? So you got to implement a system to generate as many referrals as possible that can become 100,000 a month. Is kind of my, Charisse, if she was on, she's my right hand. I wouldn't be running my business without her. She's awesome. She says we need 50,000 a month. That's the target. That was what she said in the beginning. We need 50,000. My goal is we need 100,000 a month. But you can network your way to a client or an offer. To get 100,000 a month recurring revenue coming in, you need a really high ticket offer, like maybe like a done for you offering that you can land somebody at that level. And then you got to go out and network your way to find that person and suck them in. So that's easier than selling $100,000 offers or $100,001 offers per month. Every single month, I got to sell $100,001 offers every single month to make 100,000, or I get one client that is willing to pay that much, that has the budget that I can fulfill all these things for, and they're happy. That's a easier path. That's what I found is an easier path to do. And that's 99.9% you can get there versus the 1% or the 0.1%, because it's just so expensive to market. And if you mess one thing up, you could be out of business, like if you're not doing it right. Like say I'm going to spend $500 a month or $1,000 a month on ads. Well, that doesn't get you very far. And then if you push that to like 2,000 or 3,000 a month or 5,000 a month, well, now you could suck all your money out of your business, like in like 3 or 4 or 5 months, depending on your runway. And now what do you do? Versus set up a plan to network, bootstrap your business, be efficient with your spend, start, paying yourself the money and buy groceries and take care of your expenses, network your way to a 50,000 or 100,000 a month, and then start investing into that. So yeah, it's broken if you don't have money because it's more expensive now. So it gets even harder to launch. So
Yeah, y'all see why I like this guy. Yeah, it's very practical, down to earth, and spoken from true experience. And I love the you can look at it from different angles, right? And that's what makes you such one of the things that make you such an effective entrepreneur in this space. Because like my grandma used to say, it's six of one or half dozen of another, right? Like you said, I can go get $1,001 clients or I get $1,000 clients, but you're very practical about how to build based on where people are, right? Maybe their clarity's off, maybe their revenue's not there, but you're proof positive that you can build and scale, look long term. So before we dive into your framework, because I want people to get that, and thank you, Hounds, friends of the Hounds, for showing up. Yeah, hopefully you're taking notes or watch the replay because he's giving value here for free, man. I love it. So real quick, got to give a shout out. Thank you, Mike King Biz Radio. Thank you for the spot here. We push each other up, man, just like Jesse and I. And I tell you what, they love this guy so much. When Mike King, Jesse goes to the ball games, they put him on the jumbotron, and they love him.
wow.
That's how much he pushed up his community, man.
What games does he go to? Because I'm a big sports guy.
Probably just college games. I don't know. We'll ask him. Mike King.
College football?
On that note, we got to interview Mike King again. It's been a while. He's growing. So thank you all for that. Thank you, Mike King. We love the international push-ups. And shameless plug, folks. Don't do this alone. No strays out there. If you have that passion, the desire to build a business so you can make an impact, even leave a legacy out there, hey, you need people, resources, and support to get it done. That's where the Hounds of Business community and ecosystem, right? The partnerships we form so we can make this, this dream a dadgum reality. So you're tuning in with Jesse from Enterprise Referrals. Go to enterprisereferrals.com if you're listening on the radio. Check out his resources. Go see who he's worked with. And if he's not for you right now, refer this guy. All right, that's I'm just saying it. So let's get into your framework because again, from the School of Hard Knocks, one of my favorite schools. Walk us through it. It's your ignite, flow, and ascend framework, right? How does it actually take someone from inconsistent deal flows to landing over time, right? Those 7 to 8 figure contracts.
Yeah. So first off, you need a great offer. You need a great, compelling offer, something that is trending and is in high demand, and it has to be a proven offer. So I always say to give away your thing for free and get a case study. So get out there and prove yourself. When I started out, I was building websites for free. I built 5 or 10 websites for free before I even got paid a penny. But when I went to go ask people for money, they're not going to refund me. They're not going to give me any hassles on, how we're going to do business together or how I'm going to deliver that. So it's going to prove your model, because I always tell people that you want to work for free, get paid to learn, and then get paid what you're worth. And if you try to skip any of those steps, like try to get paid what you're worth without proving yourself, then it's going to be tougher for you to really get an offer out there. You might get a charge back, or you might get somebody that wants a refund on $20,000. See, when you start collecting big money, you got to be careful that you're not going to get the wrong client. So you got to make sure that when you're going through the process, like you're vetting those clients, you have a bulletproof contract that states like your policy. Because if you have a lot of time and money invested in a client, you want to make sure that they're not going to cause any conflict. Because I've been in situations where I had to learn the hard way, but now I have a buttoned up approach where I can collect a lot of money and stay legally ahead, and also stay ahead of that person. So you need a really good offering that's proven, and you have to learn that by doing and proving it and building the case study and understand who it works for. Because if you do it for the wrong client, they could bankrupt you too, just like the ads I'm saying, right? So you got to be careful. And I want to preface that because I'm like saying, oh, it's so easy if you do it this way. It's still not easy. It's easier to get launched and to build that foundation. But to ignite your business, you got to ignite it with a solid offer that's proven.
I love what you,
yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. And then the next stage is now you got to start landing clients and you got to start getting testimonials and case studies so you can start getting paid what you're worth and start landing that flagship, amazing dream client. And then once you get one dream client, it's easier. It's really easy to get a lot more dream clients. So that's
snowball.
Yeah, because you have the credibility, plus you have the financial to go out and network, go to the masterminds, go travel around, go meet people. And I kid you not, like I got on a plane and went to an event because somebody lined up a meeting with Steve Madden because he wanted me to help him with social media. So I get over there and meet with him. It didn't work out to actually work together for personal reasons for him with the person that he was dating or whatever that was attached to this meeting. But yeah, we had a great conversation. I flew over there. I had the opportunity. He wanted to move forward. He wanted me to manage his Instagram account. He had like 2 million followers. He wanted to get to 10 million. I laid out the plan. But that opportunity came because of success with the other clients that I had, So like big opportunities breed big opportunities. So that's kind of like, the foundation. Then the ascend is now you can start building your brand. Now you start building your school, your courses, things like that.
Oh man, thank you for that. I mean, that's probably the most clearest mini course in this that you could definitely get for free. Here's what I love what you said, man. I didn't know this at first, but I've helped people with it. You did stuff for free because listen, nobody's going to ask, not the right people. They're not going to say, did you do that for free? Come on now.
Mhm.
All they care about is, did you bring value and do a stellar job? And you went out there and did a valuable, stellar job. And then people, it made it easier to sell, right? And it made it easier to know what to do, what not to do. So very practical guidance there, man. Kudos.
And Mike, I'm just going to jump in really quick because I met with somebody just yesterday, and I'm like, okay, so how long have you been selling this $15,000 program? So he's okay. What's your offer? Okay, I got two offers. One's $1,000 and one that's $15,000. I'm like, okay, well, where'd you come up with these numbers? Why is it worth that? He's like, oh, because I think that's a good price. I'm like, okay, well, have you sold them before? He's like, well, I kind of. And he's been selling this for quote unquote 6 years.
Wow.
So like 6 years, and you kind of got somebody to pay like $6,000 for this $15,000. Like your offer is not $15,000. Number one, you should have done this for 10 people, then go take what you learned from that, and then go land somebody for $50,000 for that offer, and that's going to allow you to, transcend your entire business and your confidence. Because if you don't have confidence in what you're selling, when she's like, yeah, I think it's going to work. I'm like, you can't think it's going to work. You have to know it's going to work. There's no guessing in this. Like you have to so go out there, pick 10 people, run them through your program, work your butt off. It's going to take you, 4 months to go through the whole system, get a testimonial from all those people. Then figure out, ask them what they would pay for that, realistically, and then go start selling it for half that just so you can get 5 clients, and now test yourself with doing it with 5 people, because you need to build a team around it and you need to start building it up. So that's my kind of personal model. And then the ascend is when you get ready. I did a $800,000 launch for my face. So I'll just preface this with this system that I built. I was doing websites, creating traffic strategies. I launched a Facebook marketing strategy with fan pages, did it for Brendan Burchard and a whole bunch of other industry leaders, 7-figure, 8-figure, 9-figure people like Russell Brunson. I built 3 fan pages for him. I got him his first 1 million followers for the Russell Brunson page on Facebook.
Sweet.
For his fan page, his Russell Brunson Facebook page. which he runs ads from. So it's important for credibility to run ads. I also helped him figure out how to get his ad account so he could run ads at scale with his team. So with my connections at Facebook. So yeah, and then once I started doing that, I started getting better and better clients and consistency. Then I started building my own courses. So I sold 2 courses. One of them was Fan Page Traffic Academy. One of them was Fan Page Funnel Blueprint. Sold about $3 million worth of that course in 5 years. And then those people that came in, I probably sold about $3 to $5 million worth of coaching from people that wanted like more of a done for you, done with you approach once they get into the course. So now I had my clients, I had my coaching clients, and then I also had my course that built a full-fledged business. And then I launched my software influencer stuff with that community of people, with those affiliates and those people on my email list, just to sell them the software. So I was able to launch now software courses, coaching, and have done for you clients. So now you have your full spectrum. So now you're able to fully launch.
All right. Hey, thank you. 2 things. You pulled the curtain back for us who are out there growing to these heights. So thank you for that. That's big stuff, man. That's people pay a lot of money for that kind of thing. So thank you for that overarching. And let me, before I ask you the last question in the last minute, if folks are out there, if you're a professional company executive, whatever, and you're trying to get that visibility, you have a great product, hey, reach out to Jesse. All right. So what is that sweet spot? About a 500,000, 10 million plus? Go right now to the website, learn more.
Yeah, I think if your business, if you want to do the networking, where we actually like set up your referral network. So that's one of the things we're helping people with, is helping them set up to get to 100 referral partners, like people in signed agreements that are going to send you flagship clients. I also help people launch their social media and marketing parts of their businesses and their offerings. So some people that are not really interested in that, if you have an email list. So if you have like followers and an email list, you already have traffic. That's the hardest thing to build. If you don't have traffic, then you need to build like more of a done for you offer and network your way to a flagship client or 2 that's going to help you launch your business. So anybody that's looking to get started from ground zero, I help them, I coach them. I'm not going to necessarily do a done for you thing, but I help people at beginner stage, intermediate, and then really advanced businesses that want to go to the next level. I have offers for each of those 3 categories.
And don't assume. Go to enterprisereferrals.com. That's enterprisereferrals, all one word.com. Don't assume. All right. Check out the material, see his work, and have that meeting. Because here's the thing about Jesse.
Yeah.
He's not going to try to sell vegan steak dinners, folks. If you ain't a good fit, he's going to tell you that and probably send you where you need to go because the man.
I tell probably more people that they're not a good fit to work with me than I actually take people on, because I want to be honest.
Right.
And not that we're not going to be friends and I'm not going to send you referrals or be your referral partner. I'm always open to that. If you're a good person, you have a good attitude and you work hard, like I'm happy to share my network for your network all day, every day. But if you go to enterprisereferral.com, enterprise referrals with an S.com, watch the video, click the button, fill out the application. We'll get on a call with either me or somebody from my team and talk to you about your current stage of your business, where you're at, where you want to go, and if I were you, what I would do. And if it's like, oh, you're a perfect alignment, like to work directly with me and my company, we'll take those next steps. Then I create a proposal, and then we get on a call and go through like what it's going to take to work together. But yeah, I'm happy to anybody listening, I'm happy to give value and help you get to the next level. And I just always like to give back. And anybody in Mike's community, I'm here to support. And I just want to put a smile on your face and just help you move forward in business, because the business is not easy. And I just want you to know, like, integrity here with Mike, and I'll do my best to help you. You're in good hands. So
hey, birds of a feather flock together. It's an honor to work with you, man. I appreciate you. Thank you for sharing all this knowledge. And folks, once again, go to enterprisereferrals.com. We will see you next time, the same time. And we got Michelle Smith coming on. All right, so we got a great holiday lineup. Thank you all for showing up as you do, Hounds, friends of the Hounds. Jesse, looking forward to it. Yep. So enterprisereferrals.com. We will see you on the next one. Time to wave.
All right. Thanks for having me.
Thank y'all for stopping by. Be sure to follow, share, and like, and send me a message if you had fun today. Y'all come back now.